On the surface, my spring travel to the Shenandoah Valley looked much the same as it has for the past 20 years. But underneath a rain-spattered delay in Washington, D.C., and the gray Tuesday afternoon arrival in Western Virginia, it was very different. There's something sobering about knowing everything is about to change, you know? In my previous video, I mentioned that even good and beautiful change can be hard. And during this vacation, I carried the underlying weight of knowing our visit together in this setting will likely be the last. After 20 years of gathering against the backdrop of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the future is pointed toward a sharp southern shift in the coming months. As my sister and her family prepare to sell their house and answer a call to work on the mission field of Central America, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings. I think we all do. This is new territory, a new era, a new dynamic, a path we've never traveled before. I'm not saying goodbye to the people I love, but if God continues to open doors along the journey, we are bidding farewell to a way of life and connection as we've known it for the past 2 decades. So I went on this trip to embrace ordinary moments of togetherness before a new normal takes shape this summer. On a celebratory note, I landed in town on my sister's birthday and appreciated the gift of being present for her special day. We talked and laughed and shopped, played games, practiced Spanish, and ate good food. Okay, they practiced Spanish, and I learned a few things along the way. Sort of, but every little bit helps, right? Outside, the weather felt more like winter than spring, with more clouds than sun on most days. But even though the chilly temperatures caused a few changes in our plans, it seemed appropriate. The unexpected shifts reminding us life is always an ebb and flow of adjustment. Maybe you can relate. One day in particular, we noticed dark, brooding clouds to our left in the Starbucks drive-thru line, while bright blue skies and sunshine danced among delicate spring blossoms to our right. Did I jump out of the van and capture photos while my sister pulled around to pick up the drinks? Why, yes, I did. As the week came to a close, my sweet sis offered to take me to the airport at 4:45 a.m. And I realized it was my first time ever leaving her house in the dark for a return trip. We rode through the cold, quiet April morning in easy conversation, despite the early hour. And approaching the airport, we were treated to the sight of 5 or 6 deer in a nearby field, barely visible from the low glow of streetlights. Within moments, we hugged goodbye outside the terminal, and I headed down the jetway to a small plane. Even though the pilot warned of a headwind during takeoff, I wasn't prepared for the stomach-dropping turbulence that followed. And if the audible gasps around me were any indication, some of my fellow passengers weren't either. But in just a few short moments, I understood the pilot's confidence in braving the airways, because he knew what was beyond the temporary headwind. Looking out the window, this time my gasp turned to awe and delight. And again, I had to capture the footage. A calm assurance settled over me, thinking of the ultimate captain, the shepherd of my soul, the pilot of my life. In each new season, he gives enough light for the next step, for me and for you, when we're willing to walk through the darkness with him.